The Philistines attacked the Israelites. Every morning the giant Goliath told them to let some of the Israelites out to fight him. Goliath was bigger and taller than anyone else, and he was a ferocious man. He wore heavy armor and was armed with a sword, a spear, and a large shield. No one tried to fight him. David was a young shepherd boy who had faith in the Lord. David's brothers were soldiers in the Israelite army. One day, David brought food to his brother. When he got to the military camp, he heard Goliath's challenge. David asked the soldiers why no one responded. His brother got angry and told David to go back and take care of the sheep. It meant that you should stop meddling and do your own business, but David knew that the Lord would take Israel's side. King Saul knew David's face and wanted to see him. David told King Saul that he was not afraid to fight Goliath. David explained that he had killed lions and bears in the past while he was taking care of sheep. David said that the Lord had protected him at that time, and he knew that the Lord would protect him now. Saul gave David his armor, but when the armor didn't fit, David took it off. He decided to fight without armor. David collected 5 smooth stones and put them in a bag, and he went to fight Goliath with his slingshot and shepherd's staff. When Goliath saw David, he loudly mocked him. He shouted confidently that the shepherd boy couldn't beat him. David responded, believing that the Lord would protect him. David said he would show the greatness of the Lord by defeating Goliath. David ran at Goliath. He quickly threw a stone with a slingshot. The stone hit Goliath's forehead, and the giant Goliath fell to the ground. The Lord had helped David defeat Goliath without a sword or armor. When the Philistines saw that Goliath was dead, they were afraid and ran away. The Israelites won the battle. David trusted the Lord, and the Lord protected Israel. Solomon, born of King David's adultery. There was a woman named Bathsheba. She took her bath one day. King David fell in love with her when she saw her bathing. King David sent his men to bring her to the palace, and through his affections for her, Bathsheba eventually became pregnant. She was a woman with a husband. Her husband Uriah of the Hittites was sent to the front of a battle. David ordered his general Joab to send Uriah to the fiercest battlefield to die. Joab did as David told him, and Uriah died in battle. The king brought Bathsheba to the palace and made her his queen. David committed adultery with a married woman and condemned her husband to death. In today's terms, it was a power-based sex crime. Yahweh did not take this lightly and sent the prophet Nathan to David. Nathan rebuked David by comparing his actions to the rich robbing the poor. Nathan preached the word of Yahweh and said, "A brandished sword will never leave the house of David." This story in the Old Testament describes the birth of King Solomon, the son and successor of David. The first child born to Bathsheba died under the curse of Yahweh. Solomon was Bathsheba's second child. It is interesting that Solomon, who is revered as a wise king after the heyday of the kingdom of Israel, is the offspring of a woman his father David stole through adultery. The case of Bathsheba's adultery inspired many artists. Even religious artists who could not paint nudes painted only Eve and Bathsheba naked. It is because if you follow the explanation of the Bible, you will be freed from moral condemnation. After David extorted Bathsheba, the brandished sword continued to be used in his household according to the cause of the law. The first was a sibling conflict. David's son Amnon fell in love with his half-sister Tamar and raped her. Tamar's brother Absalom killed Amnon. Absalom had fled and then returned to the forgiveness of his father David. The second was the rebellion of David's son Absalom. A Upon returning to Jerusalem, Absalom gathered his sympathizers and revolted against his father, King David. David fled east of the Jordan River, but in a battle in the forest of Ephraim, Absalom got caught in a branch. Absalom's rebellion ended when David's general Joab killed Absalom.